Hey guys, I'm cmasupra and welcome to another War Thunder Tanks Realistic Battle. Now just like in my previous video, or at least the first game in my previous video, since that video had 2 games in it, I am once again driving the Russian T-28 medium tank, except this time I have a different loadout on it. And so in the previous video, I actually showed you guys the first game that I played in this when I was using entirely stock ammo in this tank. I was using fragmentation rounds as my anti-tank rounds, and then I was also using high explosive rounds. In this game, I have the tank very much upgraded. I believe it was mostly, or if not all the way upgraded. And so instead of using those fragmentation rounds, which only have 34 millimeters of penetration, I'm using dedicated armor-piercing rounds, which have 70 millimeters of armor penetration, so that's more than double. And you'd expect this to do better, right? Because it penetrates tanks twice as easily. It's actually not better, and I want to make that a point in this video. That's why the video title is Penetration Isn't Everything. Now here we can see my very first target this game. It's a Panzer IIIe, and I have penetrated him actually, but I haven't really done much damage. Even there, I penetrated him again, but didn't do much damage. He is on fire, but that was not my doing. It was my teammate in a T-34 who did that. In fact, the teammate right in front of me that I was humping right there. So, in the previous video, you'll have noticed, which, by the way, if you want to watch that video, it'll be linked at the end of this video in that ending screen. But in the previous video, you'll notice that every time I penetrated a tank, it was pretty much me killing the tank, and that's because of the fragmentation rounds. When the fragmentation explodes inside the tank, it does a lot of damage. However, the round I'm using now, while it does have more than double the penetration, it's only more likely to penetrate the armor of the tank. It's not more likely to do damage unless you actually hit a vital component in that tank. So it's penetration isn't everything. It's as simple as that. So, I suppose I should mention that in this game I didn't actually do very much. Ooh, I just set a tank on fire and killed a guy. There we go, Panzer IIIe dead. So I didn't actually do very much in terms of killing this game because of the fact that I was using armor-piercing rounds. I imagine that this game would have gone very differently if I had used fragmentation rounds. However, even though I didn't get very many kills, I did do a lot of penetrating enemy tanks, and there was actually a lot of good fighting that went on this game, which is why I want to show you this game and not any of my others where I used armor-piercing rounds. So here we go, another Panzer IV. Yes, Panzer IV F1 is over there. So far in this game, or this battle, I have sustained quite a bit of damage. I think my turret has stopped rotating, and now my suspension is also damaged. But yes, my turret has actually stopped rotating now. My track is damaged, that's no good. The only way I can rotate my gun right now is using the tracks to steer my tank left and right. So this is not good. It is giving me the option to press R to repair the tank because I have it set to R. It was actually not set to anything by default, weirdly enough. But I have the option to repair the tank, and I'm choosing not to because I know if I do repair the tank I cannot move, and if I can't move then I can't aim the gun, so I need to be safe before I do that. So I'm continuing to fire at these enemy tanks, and I finally got a kill. There we go. Panzer IV F1 is dead. It took a lot of penetrating hits to actually kill him. This is in stark contrast to the one-shot, one-kill type of thing that was happening with the fragmentation rounds in the previous video. So now I'm backing up, and I'm hoping to be able to repair my tank. I think I'm in safety here. This is a point that is somewhat closer to our base on the map, so I'm hoping that angling my gun this way, angling my armor, being behind this rock kinda sorta, will all protect me. You can even see it says, you cannot move during the track repair, so I am repairing now. It's gonna take a minute and a half approximately. So we just sit here and wait while it repairs. Now another ability that I got on this tank when I was upgrading it is the ability to call in artillery. I haven't showed this in a video yet. Well, I guess I did in the video I made a long time ago showing the preliminary tank tech trees for the Russians and the Germans. But the artillery basically allows you to get an overhead view of the battlefield, so you basically like go, I don't know, 10 meters higher than the top of your tank is right now, like this, in fact. And you can lay down artillery in the area that you circle. So what that allows you to do is call artillery on an enemy and force them to move somewhere else. You can also use it to kill them if they don't move, hence the reason that it makes them move most of the time. The enemy that you call it on, or at least anybody in that area, will get an alert saying in their headphones or their speakers or whatever saying that artillery is inbound on them, they need to move, and so they usually do move. But as you can see, I've called in artillery behind the giant rock over there where my teammate is shooting an enemy. What I want to do here is make myself safe. I only have 30 seconds remaining on this repair for the tank, and I want to make sure I am safe to fully repair, because I don't want to be sitting here for this minute and then not be able to finish my repair and have to get more damaged and wait even longer to repair next time. You can see there is an enemy tank coming to me, so I get out of artillery mode because they're not ready yet. You can see it's still filling up in the bottom of the screen. And I wish I had my gun angled farther left next to this rock, but I don't. I have to deal with the angle I currently have it at. And then suddenly the horizontal turret drive is repaired. Yes, and I didn't even penetrate that shot. That is not good. Oh, don't kill me, Mr. Panzer III. Don't kill me. Oh, yes, you didn't kill me. I got a hit. I killed his machine gunner. That's rather useless, because I don't even think machine guns work in this version of the game yet. But at least he's dead. There we go. I got his horizontal turret drive. Have fun rotating your turret now. You're in as bad a shape as I was in a little bit earlier. And now he's damaged my track. Can I move? It appears that I cannot. My left track is completely broken, so only the right one is making me move, and thus my tank was rotating left and right. So now it's time to call in artillery, make myself safer. I can still rotate my turret, which is excellent, so I can actually move my gun as I'm being repaired this time. So I go ahead and start the repair, even though I'm not fully safe. And we'll see if I'm able to handle this Panzer. One of my teammates may have gotten him. No, they didn't. Oh, I penetrated him again, and it didn't kill him. This would have been such a different game if I had been using fragmentation rounds, which only have half the penetration, but they do so much more damage when they penetrate. This has 70 millimeters of penetration, which is a bit overkill, especially at this close of a range. In fact, it might even be going through the tank because it has so much penetration. Uh-oh, this is not good. He's coming around, and I can't rotate my turret fast enough, and I can't rotate my tank with my turret because I'm being repaired. 40 seconds remaining on the repair. Tank undamaged. No! And now my ammo is damaged. I'm still repairing, but it's back to 30 seconds. There we go, I did some damage. I penetrated, didn't really do any damage, I suppose. So now you can see that I've launched another artillery barrage. I want to make sure no other enemies come to this fight. I want to make sure that I'm safe fighting this Panzer III. It seems neither one of us can penetrate the other one, or rather I can penetrate him, but I'm not actually doing any damage because he's so close, he's making it really hard for me to aim. Like you can see, I'm getting penetrating hits, but nothing is showing up on the right side of the screen above the minimap saying that I actually did any damage. So, it's a bit of an issue. Now you may have noticed that I actually got a hit right there without actually shooting my gun. That is because I hit something with the artillery barrage and did a little bit of damage. Maybe. I'm not really sure. So there is another tank incoming. This Panzer IV, or Panzer III rather, did set me on fire though, which is really annoying, and I have fire extinguishers, but they're not working, and so I die. That is the first use of my tank this game, and that was actually kind of an interesting fight. Neither one of us could kill the other one. I don't know how, but we couldn't. If my track had been working that fight, or if I'd been using fragmentation rounds, I would have easily won that fight against him. But I wasn't. My tank was on fire when I spawned there. Nice little bug. It freaked me out the first time it happened, when I respawned in a tank that where I had lost the tank due to a fire, and then I respawned in the tank, because that's the way the realistic battles work. You get 2 lives in certain tanks, or 3 lives in certain tanks. It actually scared me when I respawned and there was fire on me. So, now I'm going back to the place that I died. I think it was right over... No, I've actually spawned at the other spawn point this time, and I'm going back to the place that I did die. It looks like my team is losing in terms of the number of tanks remaining, which is not good. We also have only 1 of the 3 points, so we're losing points. But, it was still a good game. Alright, so here I'm actually kind of cheating, and I will be perfectly honest about that. I'm using the artillery ability to see above this rock without actually making my tank vulnerable. That is such an exploitable thing. I don't know if Gaijin's going to do anything about that, or even if they're aware of that. They probably are, but I don't know if they're going to do anything about that or just leave it in the game. But that is totally exploitable. It is so easy to exploit, and I use full advantage of that right there. Hello, Panzer 3. You're showing me your rear armor? I don't mind if I do. Let's go hit him in the rear. Oh, come on. Set this thing on fire. Can I aim low enough? I can aim low enough. Ah, I still didn't do it. Oh, hello there, other Panzer 3. What are you doing here? Are you saving your teammate? That was interesting. I don't know what he was doing, but it was funny. Part of the reason I showed this video. So that was the end of the game. We lost. I got 2 kills that game, and that is all because I was using the wrong ammo. For this entire game, if I had been using fragmentation rounds, which are the default rounds for this tank, then I would have done so much better, because even though they have half the penetration, they do more damage when they penetrate, and they do penetrate often enough. So lesson to be learned from this particular game, penetration is not everything. You should not only look at the penetration stats of a round, but also what the round actually does inside the tank if it penetrates, and also the armor your opponents have, because if your opponents don't have a ton of armor, you don't need a round that penetrates a ton of armor. If they have a ton of armor, you need a round that penetrates a ton of armor. Things like that. So, I think these are all things I unlocked on the T-34, because that's what I was driving the game before I played this one, so we can ignore those. So 2 kills, but I was up there with the guy that had 10 kills, because I did a lot of penetrations. How many hits? 39 hits! That's a lot like the Stew game, which was the second game I showed you guys in the previous video, where I got 35 hits and 0 kills. This time I got 39 hits and only 2 kills. So, I've learned my lesson from this game, and I want to make sure you guys know this lesson as well if you are playing War Thunder tanks. Penetration is not everything. It's what the round actually does when it penetrates is often the deciding factor. This game would have gone totally differently if I had used the fragmentation rounds. But anyways, guys, hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.